What is good, TPA Podcast? It's your boy Big Holla. We are back again, and we have a special guest. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
What's up? My name is Toya, but everybody probably knows me on social media as On Your Wish List.
How did you get that name?
You know what? I think I started off on Twitter with the name, like way back when Twitter was like the number one social media app. And then I think I was like just feeling myself. Of course, it's like it's kind of like a cocky name, but I'm not cocky, but I just made it and stuck with it. Yeah. And then like, you know how everybody be saying, make sure all your platforms have the same name. So I just put it on everything.
So when you like introduce yourself in your videos, do you call yourself Toya or do you call yourself On Your Wish List?
I actually call myself Wish. So my dude gave me that nickname. Okay. So it's, you know, kind of like his side of his family calls me Wish, but I actually love the name, so I kind of stick with it. So I go by Wish.
Did he get that from your Twitter, or did he just? Is there another reason?
We met on IG actually. Okay. And he basically nicknamed me that off IG. Yeah.
Look, I heard that like people meeting on Facebook, even Twitter. I never really heard no like IG relationships. So tell me how that works.
Really? I hear a lot of IG relationships, and I feel like I kind of got at him. So, you know, he does music. He does music, and this was
you shot your shot?
I did.
Ladies.
I did.
You know
I did.
Okay.
And it's almost 6 years later and a baby later. So it's official, y'all. It'd be so funny. People be like, oh my God, did you find that on Amazon? When I be like posting our videos and they be going viral, I'm like, no, got it from Instagram and it shipped quickly.
That's crazy.
So I got at him, and he, you know, he was, ever since then, he was like, Wish, I'm gonna call you Wish. And I was like, okay, let's go with it.
So what like area of your life were you in when like y'all met?
Ooh, we had both just ended our relationships, and I was basically in I'm gonna ignore that, but I was really finding myself, honestly. I had just had my son. My son was like, I think he had just hit 1 year old. So my son had just hit 1 year old. I had actually just lost a really, really good job that I had with AT&T. I got fired from AT&T. Okay. And then I kind of got at him because, of course, he does music. And after I stopped working at AT&T, you know, I was all about the hustle. So I got into bottle service and the club industry and bartending and all that. And I was like, you know, doing like, you know, different appearances. And I got at him and I was like, okay, I think I want to do like music videos now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to be a model for music videos. And I saw that he did music and he looked good. So I was like, okay, I'm going to DM him. But I want to DM him because I want to be in his videos. So my initial, like what I said first to him was like, hey, you and...
Go ahead. No. Tell us the DM.
I was like, hey, you in Atlanta? And he was like, he took a while because, you know, when you're not friends with somebody on IG,
it got requests.
You got to request it. And actually, he had a similar name to somebody I worked with at AT&T. So I was really looking for his name. You know how people put the name on their cars and stuff? I swear to God. You know how people put the names on their cars and stuff? So I had searched his name. And he popped up and I was like, this ain't him, but ooh, he do music. Let me DM him and see if he's looking for some models. So I was like, hey, you in ATL? And he was like, yeah, why? You trying to be my friend? And I was like, okay, yeah. And he was like, text me. And I was like, all right. And it was kind of
ever since then.
Yeah, ever since then.
So you went from AT&T, you lost that job, and you went into like bottle service. How was like the nightlife and stuff like that?
It was actually pretty fun. I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like if you're a little bit younger, you know what I'm saying, and you kind of enjoy the party scene, and you know, I just knew I wanted to like. It sounds so bad, I guess. I mean, I'm not judging myself, but I'm like, okay, I feel like I've always felt like I'm destined to like kind of be famous or be known to do something. Yeah. So I know, like, I was like, okay, I was like looking up, because what I do is when I'm interested in something, I follow people that already, one, do the thing, and two, I like YouTube stuff. I'm like, you know, YouTube, let me YouTube bottle service. Let me YouTube see if this is something I would be interested in. Yeah. So when people was telling me the amount of money you make a night, I'm like, oh, run it. Like,
you're getting a bag, boy.
I was like, run it. I was like, okay, I look good. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know I could present myself well. Like, let me get into this. And I got into it. But eventually, after a while, I feel like, you know, if you have children or if you're in a relationship personally, I feel like that's not really something you should really be into, because I feel like as a woman, when you're in the club industry, you have to entertain men. Not saying you dating everybody or smashing everybody, but you have to be flirtatious. And I feel like if you in a committed relationship, that's not cool.
I actually hate when bartenders flirt with me.
Really?
Because I think like, bruh, if you give me good service, I'm gonna give you a tip. You ain't gotta do all that.
Yeah.
I be in there like Drake. You ain't gotta do that.
You know, I feel you on that, but I feel like it kind of comes natural.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of bartenders, like, it's like sex sells. You know how many men could, you got to think about it. When you in the club industry, people are high, drunk, on drugs. You know what I'm saying? You're not really in your right state of mind. So, I mean, flirtatious people look different. The lights is all glistening and stuff. I just feel like it's part of the atmosphere. You know what I mean?
Where did you work at?
Ooh, I worked at a couple different clubs. So, I worked at Pinups, waitressing. I worked at Strokers. I worked at oh my God, so many different clubs. I worked at one of the clubs that had got hot in Atlanta. You know, Portia off of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Her ex-husband McKinley, he owned a club down in Atlanta called Daydreams. That's when I really started popping. Yeah, I worked at Daydreams.
That.
Yeah,
That's
you remember
crazy.
me posting about Daydreams?
I was gonna throw my girlfend at the time's party there.
Really?
I remember,
it was a dope spot.
Boogaloo, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they both pretty dope spots. So I worked at Daydreams. After that, I worked at where I kindly like made my real money was a club called 84 and 12th, which was the old Whiskey Peach. So it was downtown in the city. So yeah, that one was pretty dope. I made all my money there, and that was the one that was like the most fun. I feel like Daydreams like with my stardom, and then 84 and 12 was like where I really
give me
made
some
money.
of the craziest stories that happened in the club.
Oh my God, what about all the club? Ooh, they gonna hate me for this, but what about all the club owners trying to smash everybody that work in the club all the time?
That's why I think dudes who are like that, no, shade to any club owner. When I think a lot of dudes get into that so they can, like promoters and 'cause I know a lot of promoters. If you did your job, you can make a lot more money, but you're in it for the females.
I probably know about one or two solid promoters. Shout out to Party with Peoples and shout out to Tebow Sosa. Those are like two solid party promoters in ATL. They lit.
Show your crowd.
Yeah. You know, you fuck with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the only two. But yeah, man, it's pretty much crazy, and a lot of the females go for it because you know you got to think about it. They do all the hiring, so they hiring who. These men, most of the time, the club owners are older. They in they like 40s or 50s. You know what I'm saying? And then they hiring girls that's like 18, 19, 21. So they hiring, to me, most of the time, vulnerable girls.
Yeah.
And honestly, the last spot that I work out, it didn't really end too good because I wasn't with that. I'm just a different type of female. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to make money. Plus, my dude used to show up. He do music, so I used to hit him all the time like, trouble here or such and such here, come network, come pull up, come network. I'm not here to be smashing the owner because you gonna mess with my money. You gonna mess with my personal life, you gonna mess with my money. So you know what I'm saying, I'm here to make money. And you know, niggas be getting mad when you don't want to smash sometimes. Like they really be offended if you don't want to smash or if you don't want to give them no play. I'm like, what's that about? You got all these females in here and you tripping on little old me. Like
listen, I never knew the world was this bad, right? Because like look, when I went to Central, I was in two relationships for most of my time there. When I switched schools, I was in a relationship from 15 to 21.
Wow.
Then I was in a relationship from 21 to 27.
Yeah.
So like I never knew like how filthy the game was. I only knew like my friends. Most of them were like talking to girls. But towards the end of my relationship, my friends started to get into relationships.
Yeah.
And now like I go outside and I'm just like, bro,
it's wicked out here.
The game is filthy.
It's so especially because we live in Atlanta, right? Like it's like 10 times worse because we live in Atlanta. It's like Atlanta, LA, New York, Miami, like those are like the main spots, like where it's like it's crazy out here. It ain't too many people that's cut out for that. You know what I'm saying?
It's have you ever been to like LA and New York?
So I went to LA my very first time in January. It was a short trip. Never been to New York. But yeah, LA was cool. It was definitely a vibe. All we did really was drive by, you know, Nipsey mural and everything like that. So we plan to go back so we have more time. Our initial trip was just Vegas. So, you know, that's only a 4-hour drive. So we hopped on a slab, you know, slid to LA and LA was cool. I can't wait to go back.
Yeah, I love LA. Like I don't hate New York like I used to, but I just being from down here is just too much. For
Yeah.
me. Like I could go up there for like maybe like 2 days.
What, in New York?
Yeah, I got to get out of there.
Yeah. I feel I've met some really dope people from New York, but I feel like New York is definitely like it's full of people that's like born and raised there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
So
sure.
it's like they have they have a different mentality than Southern people. You know, it's really a difference between Southern and Northern people.
They literally work from when they wake up till they go to sleep.
Yeah, but you gotta. I feel like it's getting like that in Atlanta because inflation, like the cost
Yeah,
of
for
living and
sure.
everything is going up. You gotta have almost a 9 to 5 and 2 legit side hustles to
Yep.
really be making it out here. You know what I'm saying? Then don't add to the fact if you got kids, you really got to be all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, listen. That daycare is no
Yeah.
joke.
Fortunately, I've never had to do daycare, and I don't think I ever will. Honestly.
Bruh, listen. I look, okay. I paid for daycare before. It was more than rent.
I know.
Bruh. That's crazy.
I know it's like more than a car note.
Like I think we were paying, and we put him in like a private school.
Yeah.
So like he could learn. He was like reading at like a 3rd grade level when he
Oh
went
wow.
to pre-K.
Wow.
So it was like 280, 325 a week.
That's crazy. I could never picture myself. I'm sorry. Like I just have to find a way. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I just can't because I actually worked in a daycare before.
For real?
Yeah, and I feel like the workers don't get paid enough. It's some great teachers out there and some great daycare workers, but that's a different field to be in. And sometimes all people know is go to work and send your child to daycare. It's hard to think of a way to do it outside of that.
Yeah.
And then sometimes babies be needing to be in those settings instead of being at home with a parent. See, with me having that daycare background, I'm able to teach and be a mom. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah.
That's what's up. But back to the clubs, all right? So the club owners was out here trying to smack on all the
Yeah.
robbing the cradle.
Yeah. That is what it is, right?
Yeah, it is.
Being that old and hitting something that young, that's what it's called.
I don't like growing older. I'm starting to understand. Who this is about to. I'm starting to understand why men and women of the same age don't typically connect. That's why.
Tell me your version of that. Why you feel like that?
So I feel like there's a part in a guy's life where they do want to be in love, right? But I think like at the time, girls are like oblivious to it, so they end up getting hurt.
They're oblivious to when guys don't want to be that way.
Yeah.
Or you're saying that?
Yeah, but I mean like really young. I mean like
Yeah.
6, 7. I got a crush on this girl. The
Yeah.
cooties, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of that, And I feel like, are they justified to hold on to it till they're 30? No, but I feel like they like hold on to that. Then when girls come around to wanting to date, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, which is probably around like 14, 15, 16 time, dudes are already like, nah, I'm straight.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they start to realize like, I got to do something with my life, like
Right.
sports,
Right.
school, or
Right.
something. So they start to focus on
They
a
be in their
track.
prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's a moment where everybody like goes to school, and it's these guys from high school who are already like, listen, for girls don't, and a lot of dudes, they don't have friends that are girls, so they don't know how to treat girls like friends. They only treat girls like, you know what I'm saying, something to do
Right.
when
right.
it's time to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there's like a disconnect that divides, because girls be wanting to like have real, then they get to college and girls are like, forget it, you know what I'm saying, I'm out here. They start wilding, and then dudes like, I actually want somebody. They may try to date again, but the girls are already on that wilding track.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times when dudes get like in their early 30s, when what they've been working on starts to succeed,
Right.
the amount of is far easier for guys to drop their baggage than it is for women. And that's just how society is. Usually women keep the kids, you know what I'm saying, all of that. So they're like, I don't want to deal with this. You know what I'm saying? And you're hurt.
Yeah.
I was hurt, but I put my emotions to the side and worked on my grind, got here. Yeah. Now I just want somebody who's not hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's why guys do that. So,
you know, I feel like, don't get me wrong, you have those set of people that are like high school sweethearts, grow old together, get married together. Kudos to them. But I also feel like as women, like we're like naturally loving people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're sensitive, we're emotional, we're delicate. So we're already born ready for a relationship, ready to be a wife, ready to be a mother. We're already born like that. And I feel like men, like you said, like once they hit about like 30s, the early 30s, they're like ready to kind of, okay, I'm ready to do this. Once they start, you know, once they really figure out what they're gonna do. But women, I feel like, you know, I really wish more women would just kind of not be so like me, like not be, because I wouldn't have had my son so young. You know what I'm saying? Like not just kind of live your life. Don't be so focused on. But it's hard because God made us that way. God made us to be loving people. God made us to really do this. So
you know the crazy part though? I think dudes are just as loving and nurturing. There's just not an environment for them to exist. Right. I think a lot of dudes, and that's why I got along so well with girls in school. Like I would hang with dudes and then like they would be talking about nonsense. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to talk about this, bro. So I would hang around girls because they actually talked about like how the world makes them feel and stuff like that. Right. It was real conversations.
So what age do you think is like do you think men would be like in their early 30s and then like they're a good candidate or a good woman for them would kind of be like in their late 20s or mid 20s, or what age group? I know it's different for everybody, but I'm just saying I think around 30s men mature a lot more. And I think around, because I'm not trying to knock nobody. I know all men are different, but I feel like in like mid 30s, men are really mentally like late 20s. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And then I feel like when women, like I'm only 28, but I feel like I'm in my mid 30s already. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like most of the time women are more mature. So I feel like that's why they kind of go for men that are a little bit older than them.
I think they go for men that's older than them because they're more stable. And guys have to create stability. Right. Like women, I mean, I think we're moving in a place where both parties are taking accountability into creating a stable place. Because there was a point where, like, you might as well just stay home because the jobs they're offering you ain't worth it. Right. Like, there's factory jobs. I don't want you working in the factory while we got kids. But now we've moved to like an age where like you can do TikTok and sell merch on your
Well, I feel like that just came about within the last like 2-3 years though. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of new. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely, because I even feel like, you know, back when I was like in my early 20s, like I feel like the women was getting it. Women was bossing up. You know what I'm saying? Now it's kind of like everybody's kind of using a social media platform if they got it to, you know what I'm saying, do their thing. You know, I know my dude, he's kind of private when it comes to, he keeps his private life private. You know what I'm saying? But now, since I've been doing my TikTok thing, you know, I be putting him in a video. It's like, come on, babe, make a video with me. He like, okay, what you want me to do? So I think it is dope that, you know what I'm saying, you could definitely use TikTok to what I'm like learning as I go myself. So
yeah, I think everybody, like, back to your question about what age, I think everybody has like a different perspective in life. Like some people, they want to make it to the white picket fence and stop, right? Some people like me, I don't think that I never want to feel like I plateaued in life. Mentally, emotionally, I feel like I could grow like every day, which is going to, my relationship is necessarily going to have a partner who wants to grow also. Yeah. Or I'm going to outgrow you. Yeah. Some people, they're like, look, whatever life comes with, that's how you get the people who be like, you know what I'm saying, bro, we slept in a car together. then we, you know what I'm saying, we got this apart. Like, you get those relationships, and those people are like, look, as long as I'm with you, whatever life brings, we can get through. Like, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. Right? So everybody has a different perspective of what they want their relationship to look like. And they're not wrong. Yeah. But It's whatever.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I feel like people gotta. I feel like with our generation and generation coming up, what people have to do more is just really kind of sit down and really discuss those type of things with people, because and it's hard because when you're young you don't really know what you want to do when you get older, but at least you set the tone and you have the conversation with what you feel like you want to do when you get older. You know what I'm saying? Because like you say, some people have a white picket fence, but some people want the white picket fence. But I feel like what age does that normally come at? Let's just say 40s or 50s. But I feel like if I'm with my dude at 40 or 50, we might trade in a white picket fence and go live in a condo in the city somewhere.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like you say, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. So we'll go back to the clubs. All right. I gotta. So you told the stories about like owners trying to smack on girls. What other things happen like in the club?
Oh, fights, drugs. Oh my God. Like it's just like I'm more of a spiritual person. So I just feel like that lifestyle is so many different energies and
facts.
stuff that mix into that. Like you got people that come to the club and they've been working in the club industry for the last 15 years. They ain't never getting out of it. It's this one chick, she argue with her dude. She bring her dude to the club. She argue with him all night. You know, it's just it's so many crazy things. I think the drugs life is heavy with that. That's crazy stuff that I saw. Yeah, scammers. Oh my God. I used to have scammers come spend some money up in there with me too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right off a card, ID to match. They buy bottles and they tip me a couple stacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just cause off they fuck with me. But yeah, owners. That's really the mostly the and honestly, you know, shout out to my brand, Real Booties Matter. I think a lot of the crazy things you see in the club industry is at that age is women getting enhancements, which I think is really, really crazy to me at such a young age.
Look,
and I'm not knocking nobody, because you know what I'm saying, there's some beautiful women out there who honestly, you do like it. Not trying to, I'm just gonna be blatantly honest, like you have a cardboard booty and you get a BBL and you look damn good now. You know what I'm saying? You work out, you try to fix it, or sometimes even if you work out, you're still not gonna get the body that you want because your body is not shaped like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real. But I do feel like, you know, a lot of the times women get enhancements done to their body, and you in your early 20s, your body hasn't even matured yet. Like once you pop out some babies and you see your body, you're gonna be like, oh my God, like I look the fuck good.
Yeah, bro. Listen. So I think what BBLs did and scammings did and selling drugs did, right? Now, if it's a necessity for your life at the time, this is the only way I'm gonna make ends meet, not get luxury.
Yeah.
Make ends meet. Then, like, I'm not saying do it. I'm not endorsing your actions, but do what you need to do that, right?
Yeah.
But what BBLs did was, girls who were 18, 19, you don't even know what your body's going to do in the next 2 or 3. I seen girls in college go from, to, yo, listen, without babies.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no way this is, there's times I'm scrolling on Instagram, I'm like, there's no way this is that person. Yeah. Right? So, and when you shortcut stuff, you always get to a worse products at the end. Yeah. You may be good for the years you work and you can keep up with it in the club, but like when you have a baby, who knows how that's going to turn out?
Or just life in general, different, like mentally, like I feel like every level of your life, anybody looks different. You know what I'm saying? That go for men too. You might be a little bit muscular in one part of your life. You might be a little bit, you know, slimmer in one part of your life, but I just feel like you say, man, like, I honestly feel like these women who are getting enhancements, it's all fine, because I got some close acquaintances that get enhancements done, but I feel like it's the environment that you're in, and you know, because real friends and people that really care for you, they not gonna want to see you lay down on that table, because surgery ain't no joke. You know, I had a C-section with my second child, and I don't want to like voluntarily lay down on the table. Like that's not something I would like, let me lay down on the table. Like that's just, I wouldn't want to do that. So, you know, I feel like, you know, you just give it time. And I feel like a lot of women who get enhancements done have to be more upfront with the generation to come and being more honest, because they're not seeing the honesty of it. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that women go through it's like women are post before they get a surgery and after. But let these younger girls know what you're going through after that, so they can really decide if they want it or not, because so many people are just seeing the end of it. They're not seeing what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have like my close friends that have gotten enhancements, I've been there with them through the healing process. You know what I'm saying? So I know what they go through, and in my mind I'm like, man, you were so beautiful. Like, you never needed to do that to yourself. I seen them, get sick afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, just all type of stuff happen, and then there's some people who get it done and they fine, but maybe they were silent about their healing process. You know what I'm saying? And then, who are you doing it for? Are you doing it because everybody else is doing it around you and you want to look a certain way? Or are you truly doing it for you? Now, if you're truly doing it for you and you're like, no, I really, because I ain't gonna lie, I be doing my workout thing. And sometimes I'll be like, man, okay, I really would want this to be smaller, like now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I fall a victim of that sometimes. Like, would I really lay down and get this done? So then I'm like, nah, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Let me snap back into it. But I just wish the women would be more honest with themselves and give it time. And honestly, when you have a solid dude in your corner and he truly love you, he gonna be like, babe, you don't need that done.
Facts.
You beautiful without that. You know what I'm saying? But it's niggas paying for the shit.
Yeah, but see, you gotta understand. I think what another thing people need to get girls to understand is that as much as you want the perfect dude to exist, a dude who pays for everything and is not controlling, it just does not. The people who are willing to pay for everything and or get you and want you to turn your body into what he likes is somebody who isn't really appreciative of the person.
Yeah.
I want to make you into what I want to make you, and the second you don't become that, I'm gonna just move on.
Yeah.
They don't come to you as you are,
right,
and say,
right,
all right, I'll rock with you, and then whatever you may come into, I rock with the person.
Right.
So I think people need to get guys and girls to understand that there are certain, if you want a girl who wants you to pay for everything, blah, 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 you have to understand there is a certain level of not reciprocation you're going to receive.
Yeah.
Because that is the mindset of somebody who typically is like that. Right?
Yeah. That's definitely true. And, I rather me and my dude get the money together. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you not have money before me, because like you said, it's a controlling factor. You know what I'm saying? You've already been there. You already done that. So you're going to feel like you can tell me what to do because you know what you probably do because you already have the bread. But at the same time, you can't. Nobody's going to learn that way. We have to learn together in order for this to work. And just because you got a better body don't mean you a better person. Because you too busy working on the outside of you that you're not working on the inside of you. And just because you got a better body don't make you a bad bitch. I know some bad bitches that's slim as hell, and it's like her personality make her fine as fuck. Exactly. Like, oh my God. Like,
I think it's because people don't talk to each other. People and people tell me I'm wrong for this. I was on another podcast and they asked me like, so if you see a girl in the club, do you approach her? I was like, no, because I know nothing about her. Like the thing, what people try to do is they try to find a person, and then I'm going to make you, because what you look like, I'm going to try to get you to be the person I want you to be. Instead of meeting people naturally and saying, you're actually really dope. I think we are kind of on the same wave. We should probably date. And people look at it as like it's bad, but that's how you got relationships in high school. We were forced to be around each other. So it's like, oh, I kind of like this person. Of course, there was always like the attractive people in the school that everybody tried to get with. But then all the other relationships were like, you know what? We're actually kind of the same. But once you leave high school, even college, you're in your dorm, you're to class, you might go to parties, but there's no forced group of people that you're around.
Right.
So people just go off of, and they try to make people into what they want them to be.
Yeah. So. I skipped the whole college thing, but I know a lot. I'm around a lot of people that went to college, so the stories and the things that they tell me, I'm just like.
You think the club is bad? College is worse. I think college worse than the club for sure.
Really?
100%.
Man, I've heard some crazy college stories, so I believe it. And I was in there as an innocent guy in a relationship. I'm sitting there, there's no way this is happening. I'm watching people come in and out of people's dorm room like clockwork. Like
what you don't need to have sex this many times a day.
Yeah. So you know when GGC first started?
Yeah.
So I had a cousin that went to GGC. And you know, GGC is one of them crazy dorms where they got like 12 bedrooms in one dorm.
For real?
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if that's what you call it. Like I said, I skipped the whole college thing. But like this one dorm area, it would be like 2 bedrooms together in the bathroom, 2 bedrooms together in the bathroom, 2 bedrooms together in the bathroom, and then a central area, and then on the other side. So it's like 6 bedrooms over here and 6 bedrooms over there. So this was back when I was being a little bit rebellious, like my last year in high school. Me and my mom was getting into it a lot. I love you, Mama. I'm sorry. We was getting into it a lot, and my cousin went to GGC, and just like just the shit that used to go down. Like I was living on campus and I didn't even go to school. And it was like before GGC had like the people in the front that'll like stop you and stuff like this. This was like when they first built. We all know GGC had the fire dorms. Like their dorms decked out, renovated, all of that. So it's just like, yeah, man, I was going to class with her and I'm like, nobody's saying anything. Like her professor I just walked right through the door. Like,
yeah, like, cause colleges don't care. Like you can go into a classroom because you're not paying for the knowledge.
Yeah.
You're paying for us to say that we gave you the knowledge. That's what you're paying for.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah. So you could have there's people who brought their kids to school.
Yeah.
Like when I was in college and stuff like that. So like they'll be in there, their kid will be sitting there on the iPad, headphones on, chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro.
My kids would never. They would never sit there and be quiet and be. They would never.
Yeah, it's crazy. I used to go out to Kennesaw, and there was times like you would walk into the back. And like, why are y'all like this, bro?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you know, I feel like it's those people who kind of grew up with parents who were super strict. You know what I'm saying? Like all through school, you can't spend the night at nobody's house. You can't do nothing after games. You can't go to the skating ring. You can't do nothing. You are so sheltered that when you get in college and get that little bit of freedom, you buck wild. And I feel like that's with anything. Anybody that's super, super sheltered, when they get out, it's like, is this the same person I know? Like you different outside of your element. Like you different.
I think I don't want to say where parents fail because a lot of parenting is a evolving task.
Yeah.
You need new parenting skills every day.
Definitely.
Right? But I think where parents, we don't have time to teach cause and effect or pros and cons, because sometimes you go to work, you come back, I don't feel like sitting here and telling you why you don't need to put your hand on the stove.
Yeah.
Put your hand down, right?
Yeah.
So some people are taught.
We gotta break those curses, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I told myself I don't want to have children till I feel like I'm in a place where I could portray what goes on in the world in a way that's digestible for them, so they can understand. Because if I just tell you not to do something, you might not do it. But if I can make you understand why what you're doing is bad and what it could lead to, what's the pros if you do this instead, then you can go into any room and think for yourself. I think that's where my parents did a good job, because I was like my mom wasn't like, oh, you can go to parties. I think I went to like that one twerking party that was in downtown Lawrenceville at the little Cheer Factory.
That was at my party.
That was yours?
That was my party.
Yeah, I was in there going crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? But I had came there because that's why I switched to Mountain View.
Okay.
So I remember the first one was the homecoming after party. We all threw 2 more.
Yeah.
Right? So the first time I came to Mountain View, I'm like you know what I'm saying? Those were privileged kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
nothing like Lawrenceville. People be sleep on Lawrenceville.
Yeah. Those were like privileged kids.
Yeah.
So I would go over there. I was like, you came from Central. You got past. You get us.
Why was Central so hot? Like,
because we did things that people didn't see. Like they grew up. Just like I tell people this: if you go to one side of Central, you have, you know, what I'm saying, Dunhill. What other big neighborhood? Town Park. Right, you have those neighborhoods. You go on the other side is Spring Lake,
right?
You know what I'm saying,
right?
Like the apartments,
right?
So the kids from that side,
different.
Like, it's different. Like y'all grew up a lot closer to each other. Y'all grew up in bigger groups than we did too.
Yeah.
So the way y'all were moving, Mountain View never. It's literally all house.
Yeah.
There's not an apartment in their zone.
Yeah, I know. They had just built all those houses over there too.
Yep.
And I feel like Central was like a mixture. Like people, you know, they like, oh, the north side ain't this, but they gotta realize everybody from all around Atlanta migrated to Lawrenceville.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So Lawrenceville, it is majority people that's from Lawrenceville that's still in Lawrenceville, but it's a lot of people that's from Atlanta that moved and went to Lawrenceville. So I feel like Central, like, you know, when you like, it's so many people, when I talk to people who didn't get that like high school experience, like, you know, when you watch, sound kind of cheesy, but when you watch like Disney Channel and you see all the different groups of people, like you got the jocks, the cheerleaders, the gangbangers, Central was that. You know what I'm saying? We had every different type of person you can think of in school. And so I talked to so many people who was like, no, my high school wasn't like that. Like, and I'm like, dang, like my high school was lit for me. Like,
and like people outside of Gwinnett, they think all of Gwinnett is Swanee.
Yeah. Oh, they just people who ain't from Gwinnett or never lived in Gwinnett, they just think Gwinnett is just so trash. And I'm like, man, y'all sleep on Gwinnett. Like,
well, it's not that. Like, especially people from like the hoods that aren't in Gwinnett,
right?
Or the people from like what people would consider the hood that have their view on Gwinnett. They think we all live in like $600,000 houses.
Yeah. No. See. But you know what though? Because ever since I migrated from Gwinnett to the south side of Atlanta, I can see why they think like that.
You came from the south side?
I came from the south side
Damn,
my
bad.
Yeah,
it was that far.
Listen, I used to do my thing with Uber and all that, so driving ain't really nothing with me.
Yeah.
But you know, like, yeah, I can see why they think like that. Because even though, you know what I'm saying, like that side of town, like that Spring Lake side, you know how you got like those little project areas that's like right there before you get to Spring Lake. Those are really project areas, but when you like living on the south side now and I ride past the projects, I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit different. So I can see why they think like that. But again, like I said, everybody that's in Gwinnett is not from Gwinnett. It's a lot of people that migrated. And everybody living in Gwinnett ain't from, because we was still living in Gwinnett struggling. We was still living in Gwinnett getting our water turned off and all that. Like, we ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
cable gonna be off for 2 days.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
It might not have no cable at all for a minute. Like,
well, we ain't have no Roku, no nothing. Right? No, there was no sharing Netflix passwords
at all. That was the struggle back then. It was, my mom just used to be like, go play outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
did you ever get any backlash from the Real Booties Matter like thing?
No, actually, I feel like that's what took me to another level.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I made a different page because I'm like, I want to put all my merch on a different page. And that page actually is, even to this day, still gets more love than my personal page because it's a lot of men that respect that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of men that respect it. It's a lot of women that respect it, but it's a lot of men that respect it. Like, I was getting a lot of men supporting me. Like, I want to get this for my girl. I want to get this for my girl. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't really get any backlash from it, but you know what I'm saying? I remember one time I was like, cause I used to really do my hustle thing with it. So I remember one time I was like, running low again. This is when I had lost my job at AT&T. I'm like, man, I'm about to just hustle my shirts. My dude taught me that. So I went out to like this beauty supply store and I'm like posted outside the beauty supply store. I'm like, I'm just gonna catch every woman that's walking up and I'm just gonna sell them my t-shirt.
You want to know how? I'm sorry. You want to know how I know girls who are really about their business when I talk to them?
What?
If they don't cancel on me, they will lock in. You didn't cancel, and I think I have maybe like 4 or 5 female interviews on here.
I saw that. Yeah, I was like, he ain't got many.
Listen, I have tried to book. They're probably like in the 20s, right? Mm-hmm. And they just, I'm like, and there be people who like are doing like their own business. I'm like,
man,
I know I'm not that important.
Yeah, but you could benefit from it.
Yeah, not even that. Like, when you make a plan, just execute whatever plans you have. And if I see that people that don't do that, I think that's like, if you have obligations or if you make obligations and you're willing to come off of them very easily, I don't think you're ever going to be successful.
I know. And it's hard though, because one, coming from a female, I could see where the intimidation is, and you got to understand, like, you're not that type of dude, but
oh yeah, there is a lot of, I've learned that.
they might be thinking like I might get over there and he trying to woo woo woo. I'm just saying what a female think or why they would cancel. So it's either that
These
one
people
thing.
know me. They know me. So
Okay, so
at least
I don't
know
know.
of me.
Maybe it's just like maybe like you said, they not about their business. But I definitely try to stick to my word, whatever I do. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time it doesn't happen that way, but for the most part, I try to always follow through with everything that I do.
Listen, before they cancel me for cutting off a black woman, the beauty supply store with the shirts. Go continue the story.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you asked me if I ever got any backlash from it, but yeah, I was just posted up at the store and I was actually doing pretty good. Like I was hitting every woman that came out. A lot of women was buying it. You know, that's back when I was selling my t-shirts for like $15, $20. You know what I'm saying? I'm like $15, $20. If it didn't work, I'm like $10. You know what I'm saying? Then this one lady, I was like, she was like, what does it say? And I'm just looking at her like, are you gonna buy it or not at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was like, well, where did you, it's just always that one, well, where did you come up with this from? Or what did you, I'm like, are you offended by it or something? I felt like she might have been offended, but honestly, no, I didn't get any. The crazy part is even women with enhancements. Like my bitches with enhancements are like, I don't give a damn. Let me wear it. Like I wear it. Like I don't care. Shoot, let me wear it. Let me support you. So no, I never really got no backlash from it. But you know, I'm reading. I'm reading a book. The 48 Laws of Power book, and you know what? I feel like at one point I was going a little too hard on it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you never really want, like what the book kind of tells you, so I'm not going to tell you because y'all really need to read the book. But basically, long story short, is what they try to tell you is don't be too powerful. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are too powerful, people get intimidated by it or they, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, even though I've been laying low on it a little bit since I just had a baby a year ago, I haven't really been back on it. You know what I'm saying? This has been my time where I've been kind of soaking up a lot more stuff that goes in hand with it. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to get to the nitty gritty. Like why are women actually doing this? Why I spoke on the healing process. You know what I'm saying? So still working, but not working. You know what I'm saying? Always working, but not working. Not actually selling my merch, but still just trying to get to the bottom of it and really seeing it. I finally think that the era might be dying down a little bit is what
BBL era?
Yeah, you don't think so?
I think the only reason it died down is because the government assistance from COVID has slowed.
Yeah.
But once people start to
my God, when that PPP came out.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so crazy because me and my dude used to sit in the car. He's like, oh, I know she got the PPP BBL. I'm like, she definitely did.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's this one surgeon. I forgot her name, but she is like.
Atlanta?
No.
Okay.
I believe she might be in the DR. I think she's black, or she might. I know she might. She definitely looks black. She definitely looks African American, but she is like killing people. Like women are. I think it's been like two girls that have died from getting. She's like a big time surgeon that have died getting surgery from her. It's women that have gotten sick. You know, and I'm like, that's why I'm like, just taking this time to like. I feel like at one point I was just going way too hard, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to step back and kind of just dissect everything a little bit. And
I don't necessarily think the era is like dying, but I think like once people get back to work and because the clubs have died out too since PPP law has died out.
Yeah, they have. The club scene has definitely changed.
But once that picks back up and like money is able to flow through the economy like it was, people are gonna be right back to doing it. For sure.
Yeah. But you know what I think why I say it might die down a little bit is because everything comes in waves like fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like fashion comes back around. And I remember growing up, I used to get made fun of for having a shape. You know what I'm saying? I was like ashamed for having a body. Like I remember like yesterday, you know how like as a growing up, you remember like it was yesterday, certain things that happened when you were like in kindergarten and stuff like that. I remember one day I was in kindergarten and I had like bent over or something like that. And I had boobs at like 5 and 6 years old, like not chunky, like literally had titties because I was like developing faster than everybody in my age group. And I remember like bending over or something like that, and I had on a training bra, like not even a real bra, a training bra. In kindergarten. In kindergarten. And I remember bending over and like a dude like, ew, she got a bra on, and like everybody in class was just laughing, and I'm like, you know, at that point from like that age all the way honestly till I got like 18, I was like ashamed of my body. Like,
Really?
yeah, like people probably think in high school, like, oh, she was one of the girls that had a body and stuff like that. But I was like really low key ashamed. Like, I was sad. Cause all the girls around me, like I remember even getting, you know, as girls, all girls go in a room, get dressed together. I remember my mom used to have to take me into another room because I would not get dressed in front of my cousins or nobody else because I looked different than they did body wise. And my mom used to always tell me, it's no reason for you to be ashamed. When you become a woman, you're going to appreciate everything you got, girl. Trust me. And as a child, I'm like, I don't really get that yet. But now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So back then, y'all used to call me fat, but now everybody paying for their body to look like mine.
yours.
And I'm like, y'all don't even know. I be trying to like damn near starve myself to lose weight sometimes.
Like, bro, I think people... a large reason why I started this podcast is because I think a lot of people just don't understand each other. Like, if people knew other people's perspective, like they wouldn't be as harsh on the decisions they choose to make. And it gives the people who are on the other side, like, hey, look, y'all might have think I thought like that, but I'm nowhere like close to what you believe. I am. So.
And people have this thing of I like, this is why I kind of left IG and I don't really be on IG so much, because I feel like IG was like one of those things where people really thought they were famous because of IG. You know what I'm saying? And back to what you saying, like when I say benefit from a podcast, is like you say, you get different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Like I get a dude that I'm not dating, not doing anything with, haven't done anything with, and get his perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? And really just sit down and talk to another human being and see where he come from. But yeah, back to what I was saying, I feel like IG kind of made people, kind of gas people up to what you really not. Because I know this one girl, one of my coworkers, she dead ass told me her husband, she was married to this dude now, is married, told me that her dude goes into the Gucci down at Saks, buy clothes, take pictures, and return them. And I'm like,
it's a nasty world.
I'm like, that's why I'm like, IG is making people really, like, why do you feel like you have to impress people so bad, so much? You know what I'm saying? And then that's why I switched from IG to TikTok. So like my dude used to laugh at me all the time, like you a TikTok, but he don't know, like TikTok really helped me with postpartum depression after I had my daughter, like just to see, because I feel like people would be on TikTok in sweatpants and a t-shirt, hair looking crazy, post a video of them actually just being genuinely happy. And everybody is they got thousands of comments of people supporting them. I feel like if you post a picture on IG in sweatpants looking crazy in a hoodie, people gonna be like,
they're gonna try to flame
you. Like, bro, like I'm myself, why can't I be myself? And I feel like TikTok is a platform where you can actually be yourself, be original.
I think being yourself on a platform follows the kids, right? So like most of the people who have notoriety on Instagram are older now. Right. So now they're like, I gotta be perfect. I gotta. But kids don't really be caring.
No, they don't.
So on a TikTok, you could post sweatpants, you know what I'm saying? But most of your followers or most of your reach on Instagram is probably gonna be 18 plus.
Right.
Well, on TikTok, it might be like 9 to
That's true.
24.
That's true. I have tons of kids that follow me on TikTok. Tons of kids. They be in my comments and stuff, and I go to the page. I'm like, this is a whole child. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely, and what people don't do, they don't go read their stats. They don't know who's following them. They don't know. I bet you can ask majority of people on TikTok, do more women or men follow you? What age group? They don't know. They don't read that type of stuff. And honestly, when you read that type of stuff, it helps you to know what to post more and what people are really liking you for and what people are really interested in you for. People don't read that stuff. And it's so crazy because, so I feel like most of my followers on IG are, I posted this. So it's going to be some people that's been following me that pay attention. I posted this like a year ago and I said, I think on IG, it's like 98% men that follow me and like 7% women, which makes sense because I used to post a lot of provocative pictures because I wanted people to come to the club to visit me. And I tried to change that. Like I tried to change that. I even got to the point where I was like going on, like this is something I learned from IG like famous person. I would like go the hashtags that I post, like body goals or women empowerment, I will go under that hashtag and look at everybody that posts something and go show their page, go spam their page, go comment, go show them love your picture, you're beautiful, you're this. So I was like working, trying to change my demographic. But it just really didn't work out. I tried it for so long. So then I switched to TikTok, and I'm now 93% women and 7% men. So it's the opposite.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite. So I think that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a fresh start for me. Like I get to go here and honestly just start over. You know what I'm saying? And just rock with it.
When was the first time you posted on TikTok and you was like, yo, this is about to be crazy?
I posted a video of my dude singing to our daughter. I posted a video of him with Monica in the background. Shout out to Monica. She never saw it. She might have saw it, but she never reacted to it. But it's cool though. But I posted a video of him singing to her. She was like only a few weeks old, and I know we at over 1 million views. Don't quote me. I don't know how many views we at.
1.4. I checked before you came.
Yeah, we did your homework. So yeah, and you know the crazy part is like me or my dude couldn't stay off that post for a while because we weren't even concerned about a number. We were concerned at how many girls and women were in the comments saying that they didn't have a father figure and that how much this meant to them. And it's like I could feel I could feel it through my soul talking about it again. Like it's so sad how many girls and women, so many people were in the comments like, I wish I had a dad, or my dad never did this to me. And it was like out of the thousands of comments we got, it might have been like maybe 5 or 10 people like, he shouldn't be kissing the baby like that. He shouldn't. And people was taking them out. Like, this is what I love about being an influencer, because you don't even be having to get at people who comment negative on your stuff. The people that fuck with you, and they're gonna take them out for you. And people was like commenting back like, you must have never had or never went without love like this. Like, this is true love. Like, let him kiss his baby. Who cares? You know? So that's when I was like, yeah, this about to be crazy. And again, we both have always kind of been private about our life, but I'm like, and when we went to church one time, I think it might have been church or somebody in church told us, man, keep that camera on y'all daughter. Like she gonna be something. So when we always like dissect things. Like we sit down and like, remember what you call it said? This is what it's coming to. So that's when I was like, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. So I'm like, now this is what TikTok love. They love for me to be me and post what I actually love. They love my family. They love. People love. You know what I'm saying? People love. And then after that, I feel like another post. So 3 times I knew TikTok was gonna be crazy for me. The second time I knew TikTok was gonna be crazy for me is when I posted a $40 bob that I did on my hair. Yeah. And the girls went nuts over it. And I'm like, I've never been that type of female, because I guess at an early age I got into the club industry, and I've been around money at an early age that it honestly don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I can go to Forever 21 or Route 21 and get a $10 dress and go on Fashion Nova and get me some $40 heels and do me a $40 bob and walk in the club looking like $1 million. Yeah. You get women that have red bottoms on, that have a $500 purse or $2,000 purse. Look busted. You know what I'm saying? So when I posted that video, I'm like, okay, so they love my family. They love people, like, not even on a budget thing, but showing you that you don't have to have all this money to make yourself look like this dolled up person. You know what I'm saying? And then the next one is showing like comparisons of my body. It's just showing like what working out can do. You know what I'm saying? What staying consistent can do, what eating right can do for you. So those are the top 3 things my TikTok is about, that like takes me, anytime I post a video about that stuff, it just
TikTok's in the bag yet?
They not, and I haven't. But you know what though? I haven't, because it happen when you go viral. It happens so quick. Yeah, your followers happen so quick. Every day is a learning process for me. What I'm trying to do myself is I'm trying to just since I have my own brand, I'm trying to of course push my own brand, but I'm also trying to be a brand ambassador for other people. Yeah. So what I do see on TikTok is I do see, like, people will post a video, Nicki Minaj will comment on it, Nike. I seen a little girl cleaning today to Nuck If You Buck with Clorox Lysol. The Clorox company replied on the ladies, and I'm like, okay, so this is what I'm learning is this is how people's making money. They're making money by being brand ambassadors because everybody is like, I think YouTube is still number one if people search engine, and then I think like
TikTok.
TikTok is number one now.
Yeah,
that's
TikTok
crazy.
Was number one for about, I think, like 9 months.
Wow. See, I'm a little late on that, but yeah. So everybody's like, you know, these brands, because a lot of people just don't watch cable TV anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their phone in their hand. Everybody just wants to get straight to something. What they want to watch it. They don't want no commercials. They don't want nothing. They just want to watch what they want to watch that quick. So TikTok not sending the bag yet, and I'm at 50K. So
I'll show you how to get it after this podcast.
Show me in TikTok. Reach out to me. Like I'm trying.
The bag's not on TikTok, but you can take the TikTok and move it to another place and make.
I'm ready for it.
I done seen people move from TikTok that had a decent following, move from TikTok and go do this thing. Buy a Tesla the next
I'm ready
month.
for it, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, about to spill the beans for me, because I feel like a lot of people don't do that. And what a lot of people got to realize, what God has for you is for you, and what God has for me is for me. So even if I give you the beans, you know, can we get rid of that? The game is sold, not told bullshit.
Let me tell you why it's like that, though. Because people who operate from a working mindset.
What you mean working mindset? Like a 9-to-5 mindset?
Yeah, people who think you, okay. Let me get in my philosopher bag real quick. People who think that you exchange your time for money think this way.
Right.
People who are wealthy exchange their money for time.
Right.
It's the other way around.
Right. Because wealthy people want more time. If you sit down with a wealthy person and you ask them if they want more money or more time.
More time, for sure.
Yeah.
So people think the game should be sold and not told, because in a working mindset, you have scarcity increases value.
Right.
Supply and demand, right?
Right.
That's how it works.
Right.
But where real wealth is created is collaboration, expanding your network.
Right.
And the more valuable the people are on your network, the more valuable you could be.
Definitely.
And if you give knowledge that makes people on your network more valuable, they can go open doors.
Yeah.
Because of something you told them that will make it a door that you didn't even think existed for you.
Right.
And now that door is open for you to do something else.
Right.
And you just grow. Like, a lot of people think, like, we're in Atlanta, the clubs, right? The clubs are competing with each other. We want this promoter group. We want that promoter group. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to take over Saturday from them. That's how they think, right?
Right.
But when you go to, like, LA, there's this place called, I forgot what it's called. But when you go in there, it's like the people who own Atlantic, Capital.
Oh, really?
You would think like Atlantic is at war with Universal. They hate each other.
They sitting down and
they chilling like, hey, yo, that one artist, see if y'all can get them to do this.
Right.
That way our artist could do this, and then we'll make, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I kind of read, I read a book that kind of piggybacked off of that. So he said in a book, he said, he was like, he went to court. These people took him to court one time and tried to sue him because he didn't have certain certification or license or something like that. And so when he sat down in court and they were like drilling him like, well, where's your license for this or where's your license for that? He was big on teamwork. He was like, I don't have any of that. Like, I don't even have a high school diploma, but I got this girl, she has her master's in this. Yep. I got this dude, he has a certification in this. I got this. This is all my team. This is all me right here. So if you gonna sue me, you can't sue me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got people that work with me that do this. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what's part of it. Like, can we get out of the mentality that only one person can do it and one person can have it all, when in all actuality you need a team for it.
You want to know a rhetoric that I hope the black community gets rid of? We are all kings and queens. First of all right? You can't run a society if everybody's a king.
Right.
Then there's no value.
Right.
And if everybody has the idea that we're all now, you can say we descendant from wherever you want, but everybody in a structure can't be a king. It's impossible.
They can't. And let's stop thinking that kings are higher than you just because they're a king.
Thank you.
And stop coming up to me saying, "What's up, queen?" Like, that's so cheesy. Please don't come up to me and say that. Like, I'd rather you just say, hey, how you doing, Miss Lady? Like, don't come up to me saying, what's up, Queen?
Yeah.
Like, sorry, that was a little.
So no, somebody. I hate when people like back to when I said like I hate when waiters and stuff like that or bottle girls be trying to flirt. When girls call me king, I'm like, bruh, stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm not one of them guys you can trick with words.
So
It's
if somebody's being flirtatious, do you rather them say, oh, what's up, daddy? Like, what do you rather them say? Or you just rather them come up to you straight up like, what's good? But they don't know though. They don't know how to read you. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know. So they're just going off of, I mean, back when I used to do that, I just used to call everybody baby. Like, hey baby, how you doing? Hey. What?
Because I feel like I understand what you're trying to do. Like, because there's a.
So you just ahead of the game. That's all. That's all. You just ahead of the game.
Because now it's like, why? Just talk to me like a regular person. Because I think deep down inside, that's how most people just want to interact as regular people.
Yeah.
They don't want to be tricked.
Right.
Like when you use baby and damn sexy, what you're trying to do is trick their mind into getting on a course that you're able to talk to them. That's what people try to just
in a way, but just being on that side and working on that side, I think I wasn't trying to trick you. I'm just being friendly. You know what I'm saying? But I could definitely see what you're saying because I could definitely see the trickery in it.
Yeah. I don't think what you're doing is wrong. I don't want to make it seem that way. What I'm saying is like, I know why you do it and I know why it works.
Right.
But I'm just a regular person. Like, I'm not like them.
They don't know that, though.
Yeah.
They don't know that, though.
I remember one time, because I take, like, personal lunches, you know, so like, I'll be working in here, then I'll go to, like, a restaurant around here and sit by myself, AirPods in. One time I went to Hooters. Bro, she left the heart on a napkin, you know what I'm saying? And I get why you do it. It's part of customer service. This is your demographic. You got thirsty dudes coming in here. But please,
you got to know though, them girls, they young. They're young. Their minds aren't all the way matured yet. But what I used to love though sometimes is when I was young and I used to work in that mindset or come across different men, sometimes I would have men sit me down and keep it real with me just about different things. Like it might be like if I have a certain piercing or my hair is a certain way or a certain color, like the older you get, sometimes like if you see an opportunity and you see that one of those females is willing to sit down and listen, give them some life lessons real quick. It goes a long way. You know what I'm saying?
I think like I'm big on trust. Like if you don't trust me, I can't be around you. And I think before I could ever become myself around you, I have to know that you trust what I say. Yeah. Because I understand why you may not trust people in general. Right. And I don't like to get like combative. Cause like if you don't trust, I'm gonna quit on the conversation. Yeah. I have very good self-awareness. Yeah. I know me. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think when I'm in a place, especially with younger content creators, when I'm around, or like newer content creators, I'll sit and because I have the track record to lead you to think like I should maybe listen to what he says. Right. But somebody out of a can of paint, it's like, and are you even gonna change? Like, because I talk to my friends
that it could be draining. That could be draining too. Yeah, draining of your energy. Yeah.
And I talk to like my friends for hours and they don't change. So what makes me think like me telling you? Yeah. You've had, what kind of situations have you had like that?
Of like friends not changing? Yeah. Ooh, I don't want to say too much. So I don't want nobody to be mad at me.
I tell everybody you can omit names.
Because and the type of person I try to be is, you know, even though I'm at a point in my life where I feel like everything is going, or I'm at a point now where I understand that everything happens when it's actually supposed to happen. Yeah. So I'm not as forceful as I used to be, but I also, everybody doesn't get that at the same time that you do. You know what I'm saying? So I just honestly, I have a couple of people that I talk to that just be on the same bullshit or taking the same bullshit from other people. You know what I'm saying? People that they're dealing with or dating, just taking bullshit. And honestly, I don't even really, I'm at a point now in my life where I'm going to give you like one or two sentences what it is and what I want you to do. Like when my friends come to me and telling me about having issues and stuff that they're doing, it don't matter if it's relationship advice, money advice, whatever. My thing is stay ahead of the game. That's what I always tell everybody. Stay, and you don't even got to be ahead. Stay one step ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying? And everything gonna work out for you. But I just give them 1 or 2 sentences, and I honestly just be like, oh, I'm gonna call you back, because I can't sit there and it's not even me thinking I'm better than anybody else, because I could talk to somebody else that's been where I'm at right now and is trying to give me advice, and they might be like, she ain't gonna listen or she ain't gonna do this. But yeah, man, I come across a lot of stuff like that, but I still try to listen, and I still try to just give them 1 or 2 sentences, and then I just hang up, because I can't.
I think I've got.
You still my friend. You still my dog. Sure. We go way back, but we just on different levels.
Yeah, I think I've got to the point where like I understand what about a person they're willing to change. Because I had to tell people that I wasn't even in relationships with this. I said, look, there's like sometimes like I just want to tell you my problems. I said, look, I have way too much on my plate for me to listen to problems.
Yeah.
That aren't going to be fixed. If you bring problems to me, I'm going to fix them as soon as possible so I can get back to what I was doing.
Right.
So if you need a friend that's just going to listen, I'm not that friend for you.
Yeah. And
I think like, especially in relationships, your partner is supposed to be your partner. They're not supposed to be everything.
Yeah. And I could definitely see that, because like what women have to know is like, you can't, and it's not even naggy about like relationship. You just can't be so naggy towards your man, because he'll listen to that first time. But if you keep nagging about the same thing or complaining about the same thing, it's like you might think he's sitting here listening, but really he's not listening.
Yeah.
He probably thinking about something totally different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a man thing, honestly. So I feel like you gotta have different people for different stuff. Like I got one homegirl I sit on the phone with, we laugh about everything. I got one homegirl, everything is motivational. Mm-hmm. I got one homegirl, everything is godly. I got one homegirl where it's just bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just
Girl,
like I feel like it's different. And when you get to different levels of your life, you'll notice it's different people that you need at every level of your life. And it might be those friends that, like, I got one homegirl, like, every time I talk to her, she just ain't doing nothing different. But she been my homegirl since elementary. So she will never not be my friend. Yeah. But I can't talk to her every day. I can only talk to her, like, we'll go like months without talking. And then we'll talk for like 3-4 days in a row. And then it'll be months of nothing. Yeah. But then when we pick back up, it's like we never, ever stop talking,
All right, we're to the point of the podcast. I feel like we covered like a lot of your stuff. Time to get into like the real stuff, though.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Have you ever cheated
in the relationship that I'm in now, or just period?
In a relationship. Are you about to ask me to define cheating?
No, I'm not gonna ask you to define cheating, but no, I've never cheated. Okay. I've never cheated because I've only been in maybe like 2 or 3 different like relationships. Yeah. Now, I feel like if we're not in a relationship, but we're having sex and stuff like that, but we're not in a relationship, and you seeing other people, I'm not about to just be sitting here and only dating you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if we're in a real relationship, no, I'm not gonna cheat, because I feel like when you go and have sex with somebody else and then you have sex with me and you wondering why in a couple of days later we fighting and we going through shit, it's because whatever soul ties you got with that one person you cheated on me with, you now brought into our relationship. Yeah. So cheating is never, I always feel like you can let go and you could break up with somebody if you really want to have sex with other people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't think cheating is cool. My parents have been married for over 30 years. So I've never. I
wouldn't, like, judging by our conversation and like your hustle, I could have probably guessed that though, because that's what I was telling my mom the other day. My mom was talking to me about like, you bring these girls around, they be here for so long, but then like, listen, Mom, I have to keep moving. Listen, we have goals to reach, and at some points they be in the way. Right. And I don't make it. I fuck with y'all. Y'all's my niggas. But when I'm so focused on my goals that when I go outside, people be like, I don't notice people are flirting with me till like weeks later.
Yeah.
And I recall, I'm like,
I'm kind of like that too.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, when did you realize that you were like that?
I feel like I've always been like that. Like, I feel like sometimes I'll know it, but then sometimes I won't. I'll be like, I'll just go through certain things, or I'll see something like that on TV, or I'll watch somebody else talk about something like that, and I'm like, that same thing happened to me. So that was flirting, because that's the type of, I'm such a chill person. Like, I'm not like a flirt. I'm not a flirtatious person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like that. So I don't be catching on when people do that shit.
So tell me about your friends though. Which one of them be cheating? Don't tell me who. Give me some situations of. I'll give you a story first. I had a homie, right, called me when I was at work. He was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? I can't buy this Uber off my account because my girlfriend's gonna see it. But I need you to Uber me from the girl who I'm smashing right now because she's upset. She won't take me where I need to be. I need you to Uber me back to my crib." You know what I'm saying? That happened.
Man.
So that's like a
I feel like, honestly, like, an all honest answer, I don't even hang around people that do stuff like that. Like, I like to hang around people who are in committed relationships like me.
Yeah.
Now, I got a homegirl who ain't in a relationship and she doing her thing, and I be telling her too, like, I live through you. You know what I'm saying? Like, in certain ways, like, man, if these niggas if these men ain't being loyal to you, don't be loyal to them either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to think if I ever had any stories about females like cheating, and honestly, I just don't even think I surround myself around people like that. Honestly,
that's what's up. Some of them might be capped though.
They might be capped because they might know I'm that type of person that's like, oh yeah, I can't tell Toya because she.
See,
you
that's
know,
how
like,
I am with my friends, bro. They know, like, I'm not, and how I know that my friends try to hide stuff from me is, how much detail do I want to give in this story? I had a friend, right, and we used to see each other occasionally. Mm-hmm. Then an event came that caused us to see each other more often, and I started to see. When you be telling me stories about how these girls be messing up or what they did wrong, that don't really be what be going on. And I'm starting to see past that.
Yeah.
And there will be times it'll be that person, the girl they're dealing with, and me in the same vicinity, and they're recalling a story, and I'm like, that's not. So a wedge came because a lot of people want to keep that stuff secret, especially from somebody. I feel like he respected me, right? But he also knew, like, if I find this out, you gonna judge me. Where your other friends would be like, "Oh, you fucked the other bitch, go you." I'm gonna tell you, like, you're a fucked up person for that type shit.
Yeah.
So
people
I
be
agree.
needing people like that in their life though, because you could. If I'm your real friend, I gotta let you know when you fucking up.
Yeah.
I can't just be going with the flow. Like, what? I can't do that.
Yeah. I don't know. People say they want the truth, but they don't.
Yeah, they don't. And honestly, I feel like even with the whole cheating thing, when you say you probably got some friends that's capped, I probably do got some friends that's capped. But honestly, like, when them friends come, because if you my homegirl, you gonna know my dude. You gonna know everything. You gonna know what I got going on. And I feel like my dude a dead ass say, like, I don't like her. She a hoe. Like, and I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my bitch. But I gotta kind of back off a little bit, cause and then, you know, even the same with him, like, nigga come around, or I be like, yeah, it ain't right, it ain't, I don't really like him there, but or you hanging with him, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, you know, I feel like when you people around you, other loyal people in your circle gonna tell you when somebody else ain't, you know what I'm saying? So even if I don't see it, but I might be. That's probably why people probably do look at me like, I can't tell her because she judges. It's not me being judgy. It's just like I don't want to bring that negative shit around me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna hold you. Like, people don't want people who hold them accountable for what they do.
Right.
Because then they feel like it's a gripe on them. I take it as like, all right, like, I may argue my motive or reasoning at the moment. Well, I don't think I do bad things to people, but in the event that some people may perceive it as bad, in the moment. That's not what but I do take everything you say and play it back later on. Like, all right, I could see the next time I talk to somebody, I could see them tensing up when I do this. That's what they meant.
Yeah. Definitely. Most def.
I think life is just understanding with people. I'm trying to think of some since you played the dating life pretty. Have you ever been cheated on?
Yeah, of course.
Can we get a story time or something? You know.
Okay, so but this is back when we used to party a lot. So we used to party a lot, and this is back when, the scene is. You got to cut that part when I say his name, because
you said it, you didn't say his name.
Okay, but I said who it was though.
Oh,
okay. So just edit that part. But basically, okay. So this person, this was back in the party scene where back when people were doing like a lot of the Zans and Molly and stuff like that. Like I was around a lot of people that did that. I honestly was. And he just used to take them and fall asleep all the time. And one time he took one and fell asleep, and his phone just kept going off. And I'm not even the type to go through phones. Like I feel like phones are super, super private. I don't even want to go through your phone just to think you cheating, but you might you might have something in your search engine that you don't want nobody to know, or you just might have all type of stuff. Phones are private. Like I don't want to go through your phone. Like wouldn't want you to go through mine either. Not that I'm doing anything, but his phone kept going off, and I feel like I was like, who the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I picked it up and I saw it was a girl name. So I picked it up and I saw this. Oh my God, I was so young and dumb. This was back when he was driving my car and dropping me off at work. So I saw the text had said, "Oh, you still coming over tomorrow?" I'm like, "How the fuck he getting over there?" Cause he drive my car, and we already established that he dropping me off at work tomorrow. So the fuck this nigga gonna take my car and go see her?
That is so crazy,
man. Trifling, just trifling. So I'm like, okay. So I respond. He knocked out on his end. So I respond. And I'm like, yeah, send me your address again. I'm just trying to see how far it is from where I'm gonna be at tomorrow.
Yeah.
She sends the address. I said, okay. So the next morning I wake him up and he's like, oh, am I still dropping you off at work? I'm like, yeah, but before you drop me off, I just got a surprise for you. Like I want to take you somewhere real quick. He like, what? All right. So we in the car, we driving. And I'm like watching him the whole time I'm driving. Like, is he gonna get that we driving towards her house yet? So we get to her, we pull up at the house. And he like looking around and shit. I'm like, get out the car. He like, what? I'm like, is this not the bitch house you was gonna pull up on me yesterday at? Get out the car. He's like, man, no. I was like, all right, well, let me get out the car and go knock on the door. Which I wasn't. Yeah. I got out the car and act like I was gonna go knock on the door. Hurry up, ran back in the car, got in the car, drove off, left his ass there.
That's tough. So was that like the end of the relationship?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's what's up though. Definitely. That you left though, because most people would like take that back.
But it had got real toxic. Like it got physical and everything. Like it was the end for a minute. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. But that was like the icing on the cake because we came this far.
That's one thing I never knew. I never knew about like any like toxic parts of relationships. Because my relationships, listen, my Yelp review is 5 stars out of 5.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
Why do you think that?
I could just see that. I could just see your person. I could see with your personality. I could see that.
Well, 4.5 out of 5 stars. All right. I'm pretty sure they got some gripes.
Right.
But why did I say this? Oh, I never seen like toxic relationships before.
Yeah.
And until this event actually happened out of town. I'm like, it was one of my friends. I'm like, you a little bit too touchy from what I seen, because me and the girl I was dating at the time went in to the place and they were outside. But they were like, I know the conflict was they didn't want to go because I don't think they had the bread to like do what it was, right?
Right.
And she was kind of like, oh, I want to go, you know what I'm saying, type. And he didn't want to tell her that he didn't have it, but to protect that secret, like, he was willing to, like, get physical. And I'm like, bro. But then that devolved into me actually finding out, like, bro, you be out here putting smackdowns on people. But ever since I found that out, like, I could never be cool with you.
Yeah, toxic relationships ain't. But I feel like some people like that toxic shit. Like, they thrive off that toxic relationship shit. Like it's like, is it the sex that is like that's outweighing the bad, or what is it? Why are you so attracted to toxicness?
I don't know.
Is toxicness a word?
Yeah, toxicness is
Yeah.
for sure a word. But I don't know why people are trying. I think it's because the heightened level of emotion. But I think you can
see
also
that.
get that by having an extremely good time. But it
Yeah.
takes a lot more
And
work.
a bond too.
Yeah, for sure.
And a bond, you could definitely reach that high from just having a bond too. And I never wanted to be like toxic. To me is when the family start getting involved on toxic shit. So like the mamas and daddies and all that getting involved, that's toxic. You know what I'm saying? But that all plays in part of maturity. Like when you get older, and you know, I think I seen a post that it was like a man, I can't even remember what it says, but it was basically saying like don't lose your family over family. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? When you get a little bit older and mature, you know, like, yeah, y'all my mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister, but at the same time, this is my family too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna break up my home and have my kids being in a single family home just because, you know, my mom and my daddy don't get along. I gotta separate y'all. Y'all can't come around each other. You know what I'm saying? So, cause what I try to tell people too is just because you dating somebody and you like them, their parents and their brothers and sisters have whole different personalities than they do. So you might not even like them at all.
Sometimes you have to pay attention because I didn't understand the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Yeah.
Until it takes a very self-aware person to step back and look at a situation that they're in and say, I see how the traits you're exhibiting are synonymous with like with your parent of the same sex, opposite sex, what you expect from the opposite sex. I see that.
But I feel like, you know, a lot of like us millennials, like we're breaking a lot of curses that our families had too.
Sure.
So, you know, yeah, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, but if you got somebody that's actually willing to work on their flaws that they got from their parents or whatever, you know what I'm saying, then it could definitely work out.
I will say this. I used to think like you, right? I used to think that because you're aware of the space that you're in or the space that you perceive. What I have realized is that all of these spaces have always existed. It's just which one you end up placing yourself in.
Right.
Because I go in other environments where I say, look, this set of the generation, y'all are doomed.
Yeah.
Like your kids, they are doomed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like then there's other people where I'm like, dang, it looked like society's moving forward and everybody it's really just where you place yourself in society.
Yeah, but sometimes people can't get out of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I watch a lot of like even when I do watch like Dr. Phil's and Ayana Fix My Life and all that stuff and just be seeing those people go through things at such a young age, it's like, man, you making an effect of, sorry to say it, but fucked up people in the world. Like it's like a domino effect. Like everybody y'all touch is just,
it's very hard for somebody not to become a product of their environment. And people don't understand that. And once people can't understand that, you can understand how to portray them to, or portray a message to them to where they can receive it.
Right.
Because when they say don't kill the messenger and stuff like that, like it's your responsibility. When people say I said what I said, you have to understand everybody isn't coming from the same perspective.
Right.
So they may not be able, that may not be the way you can say that to somebody.
Right.
Some people are good with analogies. Some people can't even fathom analogies. When I say, well, you know how this couple, they worked and they're like, what does that got to do with us?
Yeah.
But you don't see how, and a lot of that comes down to schooling. We're taught that in school, how to make those connections. If you didn't come from a school that taught you that,
right,
I got to figure out another way to talk to you.
Right. And that plays a part, like in just in general, you know what I'm saying? Like the other day, you know, I'm my work situation, I said to another manager, I'm like, man, the way that message was related to me, like that wasn't even cool. Like you just don't talk to people like that. Instead of saying you, how about you sit down and say, well, why is it like this? Or what are you going through? You know what I'm saying? This ain't work. You know what I'm saying? Like people come to work dealing with all type of stuff. So that's definitely true. It's about how you, but the person on the other end got to take it the same way too. Because people it's just different, man. People ain't gonna take it the way that you can come to somebody the most genuine way or such and they still like playing a victim.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Just still, why is everybody out to get me? Why is it me, 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 me?
Yeah.
You know, so.
I told my mom this too. I was like, you have to be careful of people who believe they have no control over their life. Those are some of the most dangerous people.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's what I always try to tell different women too. Like when I be because I get a lot of women that, you know, come to me like, well, how did this happen? I'm like, man, you are in complete control of your life.
Yeah.
Like if you done at that moment when you understand that, I promise you'll be so much more happier with any and everything. Relationships, kids, everything. Like my son is a very, and I'm working on this too because I've never been a good communicator. You know what I'm saying? I'm an awesome thinker.
Yeah.
Like I will be thinking of the most greatest, craziest, whatever, but as far as putting it into words, I have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
And so with my son, he's teaching me a lot, and he's 6, but he's teaching me a lot to have a lot more patience and to get him to have more control over their emotions. Because what my brother wrote me one time when he was in prison is like, he who angers you controls you.
Fact.
You know? So I'm like, when my son, like, it's like every little thing just gets him to such a dip, and I be trying to tell him like, breathe, like just deep breaths, like especially when he fall and hurt himself, which I know it didn't really hurt, but you want some attention, you want to make it seem like it's more than what it is. Or right now your emotions, you know that this could have hurt you, so you're like thinking of like he'll fall right here and then be imagining that pointy part took his eye out. And I'm like, you had like, he's 6 though, so it's really, really hard to it's difficult to communicate this to him. But when I'm trying to complain, like, relax, like, okay, what if you walk around this way? Would you have hurt yourself? But you want to come jump this way, so you control what you do. Don't go this way, go that way. You know what I'm saying? So trying to instill that in him at a young age, you know what I mean?
That's how with Armani, right? When he was growing up, he would like fall and hit himself, and like the way me and his mother handled it were totally different, right? Because I know what process I had to go through to stop crying when I hurt myself. Right. So he would hurt himself. I would hold him. Okay, breathe. Come on.
Right.
All right. Stretch your leg.
Right.
It feels a little bit better, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what happened? And you talked them through that. It doesn't hurt that bad. So you stop crying.
Right.
It doesn't hurt that bad.
Right.
You know? And once you can walk them through that, it's ingraining like a mindset into them to be able to carry that into like their everyday life.
Right.
But it's all patience. That's why I went back to
and men tend with kids, y'all tend to have way more patience than moms. Maybe it's because we deal with them a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like the mom, you know, it's more than likely around the child a little bit more than men are, but men tend to have a lot more patience. Like,
why do you think that is?
Because I feel like women are more so have the kids. Like when my dude's not working, like on the weekends, it's like our family time. So on the weekends when we spending time together, and I done had the kids all week, and he been working or he been doing his thing all week, by Friday or Saturday my patience is here. You know what I'm saying? So like Friday night or Saturday night I yell or something, like, or just act out, which I shouldn't. And he like, babe, just calm down. I'm like, you haven't been dealing with it all week. I have. This is what I deal with every day. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, okay. You know, but then I sit down and I go apologize to my son. I'm like, I'm sorry. Mommy shouldn't have acted that way. Mommy shouldn't have yelled at you. I'm sorry for mocking your cry. I'm sorry, you know, because I'm not perfect either. But man, my son he definitely gives me a run for my money. But, you know, I think men just have more patience, because anything that you going to have more patience with anything when you're not around it so much. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
That makes sense. I think me and his mom was clearly around more than me.
Right.
But like, I think from my perspective is, I think men go through life knowing like you have to figure this out. Right. And women usually have support more of a support network than guys. Right. So guys know what they went through to make sure I would be okay by myself. Right. So to translate that is very easy. Right. I think, at least from my perspective.
No, that's true.
That's true. That's why I think.
That's true.
But so I had a very lengthy argument with your sister. All right.
What? My sister's crazy. We twins, by the way, y'all.
Yeah. So look, you said you don't go through phones, right? Are you turning on your location on your partner's phone?
I believe that it might have been like a software update or something that stopped sharing my location with him, or something that happened with my phone. So within the last couple of months, we haven't been sharing our location, but before that, we definitely shared our location where each other were. I feel like it was a safety thing because one, you know what I'm saying, he's in the music industry.
Okay.
And I be telling him, like, I'm not that type of female. When you not answering your phone, I'm thinking you with another bitch. That's not my first mindset is, one, I hate to say this, but you're a black man. Did the cops get a hold of him? And two, are you okay? Those are my first two initial things. Like, I hate to say it, but my first initial thought isn't, are you with another female? You know what I'm saying? And his thing is with my location, he just wants to make sure I'm okay. Am I a female? I went out last weekend, and the guy got too physical with me in the club, and I came home and told my dude about it, and he was like, man, that's why I don't like you going out, blah blah blah. It ain't an insecure thing, or it ain't a jealousy thing, but I want to know what you and my sister kind of argued about, because I already know what you're gonna say. I just want to hear you say it. That's my twin sister. I already know what you're gonna say.
So look, all right.
When you said very lengthy, she will go the mile.
Like she holds the record for the longest message I typed in 2021, bro. I could not
man, shout out to Toya, man. Shout out to my twin sister. That is hilarious.
So look, and like, because the reason I asked that is because one of my homeboys who actually, damn, I can't say that. One of my homeboys who dates somebody that I know, right? He always was like, yeah, his phone died because he did Uber, and one time, fuck it, he had to drive to Alabama to drop somebody off. So, but the guy, he had asked him to take him like halfway. When they got halfway, he was like, just take me the whole way. And his phone died.
Right.
Or he had no service, so the location stopped sharing. And now his partner is crazy, right?
Yeah.
So like, why your location? I told him, so I put something on Instagram about sharing locations. That's how the conversation started. And what I told her is like, obviously, music, there's a reason y'all started. But I don't think it should be a default in a relationship. Right. Well, I told you.
No, definitely not a default. If we not cool with that, it shouldn't.
Good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her argument was, if Google and Yahoo and everybody else can track where you go, why can't your girl? And look, what I told her is, if you don't trust me,
right? That's the bottom line. That's what it really is.
If you don't trust me to make decisions in life that are in the best interest of our relationship, then you probably shouldn't be with that person.
Right.
I was like, that is a rule that niggas who messed up have to go through. There is no track record. My track is flawless.
Right.
Like, I'm not living like them.
Right.
Because what's going to happen is you're going to start to destroy my happiness.
Yeah.
And if I gave her an example. This is the long message, right? Let me give you an example. So say I have to go to Linux to do a public interview for YouTube, but my homie that meets me up there, he left his batteries at his house, and we have to run a Linux. So he's like, I'll ride with me back to my crib. Say you check my location when I go to his crib. Now I have to answer questions.
Right.
I just want to maneuver through my day and get through it. I don't want to.
Yeah.
So where you at? Because with the where you at entails is you believe I'm doing something that I shouldn't.
Right.
Because if you didn't believe that, you wouldn't ask.
That's what happens when people don't heal from past relationships, though. Because now and I'm not even just saying that this is what's going on in the scenario. I'm just saying in general, like, if you have a relationship where a nigga fucked up and was always cheating on you, instead of you taking the time out to heal and to understand that was him and he's that type of person, and everybody isn't like that, because all niggas aren't like that, but instead of you taking the time out to understand that, you just jump into the next relationship with all that past trauma. So now you might genuinely be dating a good dude or a good girl, and you still stuck on what the last person did. So you feel like they're doing the same thing, and everything is bringing back. It's like flashbacks. Everything, when you watch movies and there's certain things that happen to people in their life that's trauma, and it brings back different flashbacks. Now it's bringing back flashbacks because he might have did something like that, and your last person did something similar to that. So now he was really cheating, but now you think he cheating when all actuality it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, I will say this though. What I feel like most guys could do better at is communicating. I feel like this comes more when you're at a certain level in a relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're just dating, or if even a year is really not long in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? Like once you hit that like 4 or 5 year mark, that's when it gets to a long relationship to me. I feel like that first year, even year and a half, maybe 2 years, okay, but that first year you're still getting to know somebody, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I say all that to say, like, when the whole location thing, like, in communication thing, I feel like, okay, like for your example you shared to me, if he knew that he was only supposed to go to Lennox, but now you know that you got to ride with your homeboy, what is it to send a text to your girl and say, yo, I got to make a quick run with Tom. We going to his house real quick. And then after that, we're going to Lennox. When y'all don't communicate with us and let us know that, then that's what gets our mind all over the place.
I understand. But if you have a good dude, right?
Yeah.
My thought process in the thing was, what's in front of me, right? I have to tackle the problem that's in front of me. So I go to Lennox. He pulls out his camera. We're about to record, and dang, I forgot my battery. Dang. So you want to run a Best Buy and get one? Nah, my house is like only like 15 minutes.
Right.
We just run there, get it. The battery like $70.
Right.
Buying another one.
Right.
So he's like, all right, let's just hop in the car. You're like, all right. Then y'all might start talking like, bruh, I think we should change the question, because what you're trying to do is make the best out of the time. Like, trust that whatever I do, I don't want to have to report to you.
Yeah.
Like, now if I'm doing something like staying in for the night, and one of my homies is like, yo, I got a lot of YouTube homies. I'd be like, hey, let's go to Ace Lounge. They call me at 11:45.
Right.
Let's go to such and such. Then I'll probably call you like, hey, yo, Wally hit me up.
Right.
Somebody hit me up, and then I would communicate, because I have deviated far from what you believed I was doing.
Right. I could see that. I could definitely understand it. But it got to be trust. It has to be understanding, and it has to be communication there. And if two people ain't on all three of those levels, it's not gonna work out. But I've been, even with my relationship now, it's been certain times where I like just jump the gun a little bit, and then, you know, when we sit down later on and I get his perspective of what happened, then I'm like, oh, okay. So now when something else like that happens again, or, you know, it's a different scenario, now I'm not tripping like I used to. But that's where communication has to come into part. Because if you don't got that, like, it's hard. But man, people got to heal. Yeah, people got to heal from past trauma, you know, and women gotta stop going through these phones. Like, I know they probably like, girl, I'm gonna continue going. Man, you gonna find something it could be something that's not even anything, and you go through a phone and it looks like something totally different. Just leave people's phones alone. Like, just don't go through somebody's phone.
And the other part of it is, if you believe that there's a good dude out there for you, right? Do you think this is the proper steps you need to go through to maintain a good dude? No,
definitely not.
Because definitely people like, bro, what are you?
But if he a good dude, he gonna stick around and try to prove himself for a little bit, though.
Why? When I can go somewhere where I'm trusted.
Right.
Like, there are people who are gonna give you a fair shot. People who aren't. That's why I tell you, men who are in their 30s don't. I think the reason they don't date women in their 30s is because the defensives that you've put up that you're not yet willing to let go of. Right. So like, let me just go find somebody who doesn't have these defenses. Right. Because now I'm in a place where I can focus on the relationship. Right. Where in the other times, like, my relationship was always like on the back burner type thing. So I don't know. We had that. I was like, and I wanted her to come on here just so we could have that conversation, because it's no way. It's no way.
You know, we're twins, but we have two totally different personalities.
Think so?
Yeah, we're a lot different. And I think that now that we're older, it definitely shows, because growing up, my mom wanted us to be so much alike, dress alike. Oh my God, down to the T. Same color ballies and barrettes in our hair, same color hair bows. And then we got a little bit older. I remember my mom like damn near crying when we tell her like, Mom, we want to dress different. You know what I'm saying? Like, Toya is like a pink lover. She wants 2 ponytails. Like, I'm like, I don't care for my ponytail to be neat. Just throw it up in a bun. And I want to wear basketball shorts and a hoodie and slides to school. Yeah. Like, Toya want to be glammed out, boots with the fur and all that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So we are definitely totally different. We're totally different. Even our personalities and relationship wise, down to who we date, is really totally different.
Why do you think that happened?
I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a lot of twins are like that. I feel like a lot of twins are different. I know a lot of twins that are the same, like the famous Claremont twins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They we share a mutual best friend. So my best friend is their best friend. And they just, I'd be like, they do everything together. Like me and my sister aren't like that. Like they're so close. Like but when I sit down and think about it, I'm like, me and my sister are close. Like she'll know.
Just different.
Yeah, just different. Like these last couple of days I've been going through stuff. It's like she texted me and didn't even know, like, are you okay? And I'm like, she feels it. You know what I'm saying? So we close in a different way.
So what is it called? Because y'all aren't like identical
We're
twins.
fraternal
twins.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that plays a part into it? Okay.
Yeah. Because identical twins are literally one egg that split into two. So they're really one baby that turned into two babies. So it's really the same person, same DNA, same fingerprints, same all that. Now fraternal twins are like the woman got pregnant twice. Like she released two eggs. So she basically, in other words, she had a period twice. Not really, but had a period twice and then got pregnant. And so that she got pregnant twice. So I definitely think that plays a part in it.
Yeah. I was like, the location conversation, I just don't. Like, there's no, I met a dude when I worked at Dillard's. I told the story on here a couple times. He just told me, like, bro, just focus on yourself in life. That's how you're going to maintain the most peace. If you try to comb over the things people around you do, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. And I took that and like, but you also have to be strong enough with the repercussions that come from that. Because sometimes you not combing over who somebody is will allow them to become a nuisance in your life that you probably could have stopped a long time ago had you focused on it. But as you grow in life, your space, you learn how to control more of your space.
Right.
And basically like filter through the people who come into your life.
Right.
So, yeah. But you got any questions?
No, and that's probably bad because I'm like, he gonna be interviewing me, but I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years it'll be vice versa. Maybe I'll be pulling you up and interviewing you then.
For sure,
so
we can run those. But it could be about anything.
I don't know. Like, what made you start? Like, because I see a lot of people doing podcasts in right now, but honestly, I see you actually like take it serious. So like, what got you interested in doing this?
Well, I got into podcasting because one, I've been taken advantage of a lot. And I wanted to create something that if somebody's intention was to take advantage of me, I still had a benefit from it. So that's why I created the podcast. So like, even when I was doing YouTube, there's a lot of people who I helped in YouTube that were there to take advantage, right? For whatever reason. So that's why I created podcast. And the second reason is because I have a good way of opening a lot of doors, and I want people to understand you don't have to live the structured life that we're taught.
Right.
And if I can open the doors for everybody could live, you know what I'm saying, a good life. And the third reason is because I have a massive network. I'm a good person, so people gravitate towards me.
Right.
So I would never run out of people to talk to.
Right.
And eventually I got to go to All-Star Weekend this weekend.
Where is it at?
Cleveland.
Okay.
So I'm going to be freezing.
What? I never heard of All-Star being in Cleveland. Do they like pick different cities every year?
I think they're doing it because LeBron is coming to the end of his career. So usually they'll like, I know I think it was in LA, like Kobe's last year. Or no, it was in Philly, Kobe's last year, because that's where he was born.
Okay.
And usually they do stuff like that. But the next weekend I'm gonna start doing public interviews based on like stuff that I talk about in my podcast. So I'll go out into like the streets of Atlanta.
Right. Dope. I can't wait to see your content when you put that out.
Yeah. So that's why I started the podcast. And I got out of a relationship. So I had more time to do stuff. Right. And I'm a very trustworthy person, but I could still see the remnants of not trust that if I did this while I was in a relationship, it'd be like something. How'd you? You know what I'm saying? I just want to be able to do what I have to do, and move on. That's it.
I know.
So,
That's like the thing with relationships sometimes. Like it just has to be so much trust there. You know what I'm saying? Because even me, I fall a victim of that sometimes. Like, you know, and I gotta understand, like my dude, you know what I'm saying? Like he's a very handsome guy, and I gotta understand that, you know, I can't just be so, and I'm not even a jealous person, but even with certain things, I can't just be so closed-minded about it, because, you know, there's nothing wrong with men and women working together. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know that your partner ain't on no, oh, I want to fuck them type shit. It's just seriously about business. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember one time I went crazy on him because he was like, we were supposed to date that day when he was done shooting his video, and then he had a female shooting his video, and I'm like, just giving him a hard time all day because he was taking forever, and I'm like, it don't take that long. You know what I'm saying? Just giving him a hard time, and then later on he's like, man, just look at her and look at you. Like, come on now. Like, and I'm like, okay, you know, but I definitely feel that sometimes when you're in a relationship, it can definitely like just hold you back, and hold you back might be a little strong of a, but it does. You know what I'm saying? But what you're doing now is, when you're going through stuff like that, like breakups and stuff like that, the best thing to do is just apply pressure to your craft.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, like it ain't trying to get back or trying to, you know what I'm saying? Just apply that to whatever you got going on.
Yeah. I think like the trust thing, like first of all, I'm glad you said that, because this is one of the questions I'm going to ask to people. So I'm going to ask them, do you believe in platonic relationships? You know, most people are going to say no. If I'm in a relationship, well, I need girlfriends. This is why I dislike Steve Harvey for some of his takes. I dislike some of his takes, not him as a person. But he had this one clip that went viral that was like, I don't have women friends. Like,
I saw
because
that.
It's stupid. All right, it's dumb.
And I'm like, he just be saying stuff sometimes to get viewers, because that ain't no way in life that's possible.
For
Steve.
sure. So, Steve, Oprah isn't your friend,
right?
She's not your friend,
right?
Like, but how I'm gonna flip the question on people. I'm gonna let them know why. So I'm like, do you believe if you're bisexual in a relationship, you should have no friends?
Right.
I think like, and I don't want to use this as like the community as like as a teachable moment to test what people think. Is the LGBTQ community breaks a lot of hetero toxic conversations apart. Right. So for one, should a woman ever ask somebody for their hand in marriage? Most people say no. So how do lesbian people get into a marriage?
Right. But that's different though.
But how is it? So if you have a bisexual lady, if she's willing to, my question would be, if she's willing to propose to a woman, why wouldn't she be willing to propose to the dude? What would be the difference? Because at the end of the day, both of them are your partner, right? And you could play the same role in both relationships.
So let me ask you this, because in most like in most lesbian relationships, there's like a more of a like a, I don't want to say, because you know, dominant. So do you think that the dominant person would be the one to ask for hand in marriage, or do you think that more of the, because to me, if a dominant person asks for their hand in marriage, in their mind, they're more of the dude. So it'll be same with dude and woman. The dude would ask.
That's not true though.
You don't think so?
In every relationship, the man isn't the dominant one. There are some submissive men.
Right.
Or not, there's, I don't know what, I don't want to say submissive, but they're not the dominant one in a relationship. There are some dominant women who like dudes.
Yeah.
So when they get in a relationship, they may gravitate toward a dude that's not dominant because that's what works for them. Right? So if we keep the logic the same, that woman would propose, but society would say, no, you can't do that.
Right.
So I think it introduces a lot of interesting questions into the way people consider doing things. I don't think there's no format. Like if it works, if you find a way to make something work, then just let it work.
Like back when you asked me, like if I shot my shot, it'd be so many girls like, oh, I would never shoot my shot. But you would never shoot your shot, and you might be lonely for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I shot my shot, and it worked out. You know what I'm saying?
like single city girls that I have conversations with, and they're miserable. Like y'all be, they be telling me like, I'll be like, why you post stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, I mean, I just do it. I don't really believe like none of that stuff. Part of it, I think they're trying to convince me because like, man, I'm not gonna date you, but I'm just talking to you though. Like, part of it, I think they're like trying to give me their representative in case I'm trying to talk to them.
Right.
And some of it is like, for real, like you be out here acting. You don't got to do that. So.
You know, I have somebody that I'm cool with, and you know, she popping on IG. Mm-hmm. Everything she posts just pop off, but you know, everything you post is just body wise. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you getting of age where you want to take somebody serious. And I told her straight up, I'm like, I think your IG might be a little intimidating for men. You know what I'm saying?
We do probably. Because I'm gonna look at it like but you got to be a strong person though. Because if you're
that's
not
what I told
person,
her. I said the only way it'll work if you keep your IG how it is now, because that's obviously what you like to do or what you're interested in doing. You have to date somebody else that does that, or somebody else that's popping on IG too.
Yeah,
you can't. You might meet somebody that's not popping and they okay with whatever, but if you meeting somebody who don't really got a lot going on, they not gonna be okay with what you post. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, you do too much, or you know what I'm saying? You got to meet somebody else that got their own shit going on that's not really worried about what you post. You know what I mean? So,
because I'm gonna turn it. It's mad girls. I want to hit them up and be like, bro, look, let me be your manager because you are selling the bag.
Right.
Like if you average over 10,000 likes on your picture, there's no reason you shouldn't be making $7-8 a week.
Well, tell me, because we gotta have this conversation when it's dropped. Cause
bro, listen. Oh my god, I just be like, it was one girl, bro. She used to have LeBron and her likes.
What?
In her likes. But A dot, B dot in her likes. She used to have a lot of verified people in her likes. And I'm like, do you know what you could do with this?
Right.
And she was just like, I think at one point she was averaging like 60,000 likes per picture. She would drop like maybe like 4 pictures a week. Like a post with 50,000 likes is worth like 4,000. More than that, because I know a company who paid somebody who averaged 2,000 2,000 likes. Right. They paid them $10,000 for one post.
That's crazy.
What are we talking? Like,
I hear about stuff like that. Yeah.
So, you know, and it was like I know people who pay like $3,000 for a 30-second reel.
Yeah.
Or 2,500 for.
Yeah.
Y'all are selling but I feel like a lot of girls, they have like. I'll be honest, a lot of niggas aren't worth dating. Right? But if you have a dude who's worth dating, you could have been turned that into a light. Like you could have retired in 6 months if you took this attention and turned it into what it should be.
Right.
But,
you know, people got to understand too, like when you know what I'm saying, that when that one post go viral or something go viral or you get attention, just flip it. Like whatever you really want to do.
Yeah.
At that time, it's time to flip it. You know what I'm saying? It's time to do what you, because now you got everybody watching you. You know what I'm saying? Now they see a different side of you.
Yeah.
You know, just try it.
They be in lingerie. You know, these companies pay people to post in lingerie, right?
Yeah.
If you don't hit them up with your analytics,
right?
Like, what are you doing?
Right.
But it is what it is. But tell everybody where they can find you. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all can find me on IG at On Your Wish List and on TikTok at On Your Wish List. It's the same for all my platforms. You look me up, Twitter. On Your Wish List. I don't really be on Twitter like that sometimes. And on Facebook, I'm a little bit different because, you know, I got family on Facebook. So I'm just under Toya Cooper, my name.
Yeah. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all head over to her link. I will link that down below. This podcast will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. You know what I'm saying? Might throw it on Audio Mac just to make Agent from AMP mad, but that's it. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. And until the next time we see y'all, peace.